Is Gran Turismo broken, or have Polyphony taken things back to basics with this week's Daily Race C to try and rebuild this game from the ground up? Let's get on to chatting about this one, because as far as a Group 4 race at the Red Bull Ring goes, that is what I would call pretty much a default race here on Gran Turismo. Daily Race C, 1 times fuel, 1 times tyre wear, no changes, no pits, no nothing. This is literally a default race, and I think that they've done that because we've had an update, we've had a new we've a couple of new cars. I don't think there's anything interesting there, but a new balance of power, and so I think that is why we've gone back to default race 101. So we'll see how we get on. It's pretty much a G70, a Genesis race, one make, which is a little bit sad, but here we are. So we'll see how we get on. We're going to start at the back for this one. I don't think we'll get too much progress, but we shall see how we manage. Right, here we go. So, back on Gran Turismo for the first time in a little while as well. Let me just get that excuse out there. And from memory, we want to be short shifting this car quite a bit. Now, I've put brake balance to the rear so that we can try and maintain as much front end grip as possible. So it's going to go to the inside here, I think. I thought he was going to go to the inside, so I went to the outside, and then he went back to where he was. So we almost get a move, or end up looking like we're looking for a move around the outside, but we don't get that. Oh, someone's gone for it there. Some space would have been nice, but technically by that point... Oh, you've got to be kidding! You've got to be kidding! That is brutal. Now, we weren't owed the space, I would say there, but, you know, it would have been nice of him to give us a little bit more if he was just being nice. He wasn't obliged to. But for us to get a track limits for that, come on. That is a little bit unfair. Could have done with some leniency from the Gran Turismo steward. I did not touch him there. I did not touch him there. Did we see that? That was a glitch. That was a glitch. That was a glitch. That was not me. They've broken Gran Turismo. Is that the guy with the bad internet? I'm assuming was that him that we've just... Well, we didn't launch him, but the game seems to think that we did, or the physics of some description seems to think that we did, because that certainly looked like he'd been punted. Well, the way that his car moved forward, but that definitely, on our screen, we didn't do that. We can all agree, I hope. I am innocent. I'm going to look to the inside for this one, though. Just try and roll this off the brakes. Robert Kubica here is going to go off the track almost to try and cut that corner. We give probably as little space to the chap who was on the outside. Probably less space than Robert gave us, in fairness there. Oh, we'll have that if we can nip underneath there. And then that puts us around the outside here. If we can just tag enough of a slipstream good enough from we're in front of Daz. Oh! Right, I was going to say, starting at the back probably wasn't my wisest of ideas, considering we want some good DR results. But at the minute, we've got P8 right in front of us here. Now, I've been hit there. If I can try and hang that one round the outside, that would be a miracle. We almost do, but we don't quite. Oh, no, I wasn't expecting him to come to an almost sudden stop there. Jake here in P8. Daz is going to get the run round the outside now. Right, now he's gone off the track, so we're going to use all of it that's available now. Now we're behind Jake, P8. Oh, he's braked. Oh, well, not as early as I thought he was going to, but he stopped way quicker than I thought he was going to. We've both braked roughly the same time there. We carry on. We've got front damage because of that, rightly so. Hopefully he doesn't have damage, but we're going to try and work with him here just to not sacrifice his run into the next corner as a result. We got Daz to the inside of us who's going to get that one there, which is sort of fair enough. I was trying to slow myself down to not get in front of Jake because we'd have set ourselves up for that overtake by hitting him a couple of corners before. So I was trying not to get the position off him, but also not lose it, which we have done. But that is all fair enough, I would say. Do we go for the gap in the middle? Not quite. We could have done. Someone's gone for it. Oh, no. That's been a disaster. If we get a penalty for that there, because we've been pushed off wide. I knew we were going to get a penalty. I knew we were going to get a penalty. Right, now that one I definitely disagree with. Oh. Right, we get through a few of them there. We're now back onto racing for P8. I just knew that penalty was going to come there. Very unfair considering the hit that we got into turn 2, or turn 3 as it's sometimes classed as. Very unfair. Oh, Daz has been hit. Oh. That one sort of from us, our side, looked like that was Jake's fault there, but I'm not 100% sure. That's kind of how that one looked. I don't know what we all think of that. From our position with the offboard, he's going to go for that one, obviously. I think we just need to sit behind him and just get the P8 now. I think we'll struggle to push on to any guys up ahead because there's big gaps now. The field spread of this one really starting to show. Right, P8 is ours. I've not tried the Alpha 155 build. This is only the first race, but I've just basically copied everybody else doing the Genesis. But we can certainly have a look at other cars if we think it's worth it. P7's gone. Mike, how are we doing? Hope we're all well. Wheel back up and running. Yes, finally. Oh, the wheel wasn't really the issue. It was just the rig that I'm sat on that decided to fall apart underneath me. Other than that, we're all good, so we're back. How was Scotland? Scotland was absolutely mega. Absolutely mega. So the plan for that one, I'm not going to say how the video went or in terms of whether or not we managed the challenge. But yeah, we were aiming to race against the sun. So any Top Gear fans, which I'm sure we have a few, we were trying to do the classic Race Against the Sun challenge. But we tried to do the entire North Coast 500 route, so the entirety of the Scotland North Coast 500, no shortcuts, no nothing, in one day. 38.7 is our fastest lap at the moment, so we're only half a second. I wish we were half a tenth. Half a second off the pace of the leader. We'll be well off the pace of the leader if we keep running turn 1 like that. We got 2 people with 2 half-second penalties here. So who knows, we could actually get a slightly higher result or position from where we are now. I'm going to try braking a little bit later because I keep coming off the brakes to roll the car in with where I was braking before. So we can brake a bit later, that's good to know. We're onto them. We're onto them. I'm probably best off actually just sitting back because they've obviously got penalties to serve here. And as long as we're close enough, we should have these 2 positions. LB here though. Oh, he's gone into a spin. Or he was going into a spin. We've got that one. We're actually going to have P4 here. Now these guys might be, or probably are, quick enough to catch that back up. But as it stands, we've been gifted P4 and 4 tenths buffer. Make that 5 tenths. 4 tenths. Come on. They're in the slipstream again though. Right, we really are causing a bit of a chain here, or a bit of a train, sorry. Oh, we've been hit there. Half-second penalty for Mr. Salt. Come on, have we got it? Have we got it? Over a second the gap. P4 from the back of the grid is not too shabby. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, 3 of them battling behind. Absolutely, look at that. They are scrapping like crazy for see what order they get, P5, 6 and 7. And we're going to have that as well for P4. That is not too bad. And we're only 3 or 4 tenths off the fastest lap there, so as far as I'm concerned, we've done alright there. We have done alright. Right, now what I'm going to do is try and cool down this office because it is boiling hot. Oh, not in a Civic. Were you saying that, Jay? You don't think that we'll manage against the sun in the Civic? What do we think of that then, as far as a race goes? I think with the new update, of which I can't really tell much difference, I don't think there's been any much of an update to the drive. But in terms of balance of power, it's always getting reset or played about with. Obviously, there is a more powerful, or there is always a meta car, especially at a track like the Red Bull Ring where there's not that many corners and stuff. So as disappointing as the default race, literally default Gran Turismo race pretty much is Group 4 at the Red Bull Ring or Group 3 or 4 at Dragon Trail. Like, it doesn't get more basic than that. No tyres, no wet weather as well, which is, this is a track that's got weather. No pit requirements, no tyre requirements. Tyre wear at ×1 and fuel at ×1. Literally the most basic default race they could have given us. I can only presume, or I hope, that it's for good reason, and it's because they're trying to work on balance of power or monitor the new update. It's the only thing that I can think. So there we go. Hopefully, Gran Turismo has good reason to give us such a crap race, which actually turned out not too bad.